Kharkiv region, the intensity of attacks somewhat decreased. After attacking the village of Sosnivka for around a week without success, the Russians have reportedly withdrawn from that region. As you remember, the Russians have been mining the area in the Chuhuev direction and actively conducting a lot of reconnaissance operations in the Derhachi direction. Therefore, it is highly likely that the next series of attacks will happen in this region, near Slatine, Prudyanka, and Rusko-Lozova. Heavy shelling in this region also continues. The Russians are shelling not only the northern part of the region, but also the area around Balaklia. So far, there were no significant changes in Balaklia. It seems like both parties underestimated each other and ruined each other's plans, and as a result, the Ukrainian counterattack on Balaklia quickly ended, as well as the Russian attempts to create a bridgehead in this region. In the east, active action took place along the whole front line. In the Sloviansk direction, the Russians resumed their offensive operation in Bohorodichne. Today, the Russians attacked the Ukrainians that are holding the last positions in the eastern part of the village, however, did not manage to take it under their control. The fights in Krasnopilya continue as well, but despite heavy clashes, the Russians cannot breach the Ukrainian defense in this part of the region. However, the Russians reportedly managed to take Mazanivka. This was not yet confirmed by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and so far, no attacks on Krasnopilya have been launched from Dovhenka. Therefore, we cannot say for sure who is controlling Mazanivka right now. The challenge in this region intensifies. Today, the Russians not only shelled the settlements close to the front line, but also Kramatorsk. In the Siversk direction, the Russians managed to capture the village of Spirna. Today, several Ukrainian sources confirmed that Spirna fell in the hands of the Russians. This puts the Ukrainians in Berestovo in a very inconvenient position, as they are vulnerable to the flank attack and do not have a lot of opportunities to use when defending from an attack coming from the north. The Russians already started to shell Ivano-Darievka and will probably attack it very soon. When it comes to Verkhnokamyansk and Grigorievka, the fights here continue. So far, the Russians are launching one attack after another, but did not gain much from them. On the other hand, these are small villages, and if the defense is breached, they fall very quickly. So that is what the Russians are trying to achieve with their continuous assaults. They're experimenting with different lines of attack in order to find a weak spot. In the Bakhmut direction, the main action took place near the village of Vershina. Since Vershina is reportedly under the Russians, the fights seem to have taken place between Vershina and Zaitsevo. Unlike Vershina, Zaitsevo is a quite big village that has been fortified by the Ukrainians. Therefore, we will see a lot of clashes in this region. However, at first the Russians will probably focus on closing the pocket around the Volkhogirska thermal power plant. The Ukrainians here continue holding their positions, which is why the Russians cannot really move forward. The Russians also cannot afford to cause major destructions to the power plant because it is the biggest thermal power plant in Ukraine, which means that it is capable of supplying a lot of energy to the Donbas region and more. Overall, the front line in the east is gradually stabilizing, and even though there are still a lot of things going on, the momentum is decreasing and the fights become positional. However, recent developments in Mazanivka and Spirna may undermine the Ukrainian defense and cause a lot of trouble.